Gaffer, welcome back.
See that?
We obviously take on Odisha FC away in our final game of the season. As usual, I've got a few questions from the media which I'll ask one by one. The first one is from Sportskira. Your last game is against Odisha FC and it is a game that has only pride at stake. So, will it be a difficult task to motivate the players to give their best on the field?
Absolutely not. I think we as professionals and certainly the players as professionals go out there and try and perform and do the best they can every single week. Okay, it's the last game, but there's still lots to play for. People make whatever assumptions they want about players going into final games, and they can go into it with whatever attitude. Our players will go in with the right attitude. We'll make sure of that. As staff, that's our job and our duty to do that. And also, we know we've got thousands and millions of supporters all over the world, and I think it's our duty as staff and players to go out there and perform the very best as always, and that will be the case this time.
This one is also from Sportskira. Will we see in action some of the players who haven't played much this season, or will you go with the strongest side?
We've gone with the strongest side every game. I know a lot was made from the last game, but we've had so many injuries. Obviously, Bry Pilks were players who couldn't play because of injuries. The lads who came in were in because that was the squad that we had. So we played the best team. As always, we've not wanted to rest players just for the sake of it. We've gone into every game believing that we can win and with the correct attitude. It is one of those situations where when you don't put your strongest team on paper, people will ask questions. It's never been like that with us. We put the strongest team that we perceive we can do, and we've tried to win every game. We've been competitive every game.
This one is from Ajkal newspaper. Are there any injury concerns going into the final tie of the season?
Yeah, we've got a few injury concerns. I've just mentioned obviously a few of the players who never played last week. Or in the last game, there's still aches and pains. But we will put out the best team we possibly can. There's obviously another day's training before we can really decide what side we want to put out. We train and we perform in training sessions as we would in games, and we adapt. So if players come out of today's training session with a few knocks, and we'll take care of that. But as per now, there's a few knocks, there's a few aches and pains. But yeah, we'll have the best side out we possibly can.
As the season comes to an end, what are the areas you feel the team could have done better, and how are you planning for the next season? This also is from Ajkal newspaper.
Yeah, well, I think the planning has been from day one. We know that we've spoke about what squad we had, what players we had. So we've always been planning on moving forward anyway. We've planned on bringing a few players in who obviously never worked out, and I think probably one of the things we can address is maybe goals scored for. It's something that we worked from day one. We were let down with a few players who said they were going to come, but it never materialised. And I will say that we've competed every game. I don't think there's been any game where we've been overawed for the full game. But that's what we do. We'll move on. We'll adapt. We'll play out this year. And as always, I'll speak to my bosses. I'll speak to my staff here, and we'll take this club forward because regardless of what people think, we're steadily improving. We're doing the right things. We're heading the right way. Expectation levels. I think we've done, in all fairness, I think we've done better than what we probably should have done. But look, we know it's a results business, and we know people get frustrated and perplexed by some of the results. But that is the case. We know what we need to do, and believe me, we'll be trying everything we can to try and get this club where we believe it should be.
The next one is from the Times of India. Going into the last match of this campaign, how would you look back at the season in terms of positives, disappointments, and areas where luck probably deserted the team?
Yeah, I think there's many positives. In all fairness, we spoke before about the expectations. You know, I'm not sure what the expectations were. You know, I know there's been lots of people vocal, you know, and having a go at us because of where we've been or where we are. But you know, the fact of the matter is, you know, we had 2 weeks to prepare. You know, we had a team or a squad of players that was built for the I-League. Now, you know, I know people get offended by it, but they shouldn't be, because it is what it is. You know, and that's no one's fault. You know, I'm not sitting here blaming anyone. You know, I'm giving you reasons why, you know, you know, we are where we are. And look, you know, we move on, we adapt, and you know, what I will say, that I think that the positives we've had this year is that we've been competing with every game. You know, we've not been overawed, as I said before. We've put in some good performances. We've put in some performances which obviously can be better. But you know, not every team's perfect. You know, and every team will go through a season with, you know, a few adverse results. You know, a few bad performances, if you like. But I think we've probably suffered more than most in terms of frustrations. Decisions have not gone our way. Again, I'm not giving you, you know, excuses. I'm giving you, you know, valid reasons. You know, there's been many a game that have been turned on its head with obviously decisions that have gone against us. But look, they've all finished. You know, we pick ourselves, we move on. You know, and our job now is to try and bring the very, very best out of what we've got, and then, you know, take that forward.
Kafa, how would you describe your maiden ISL sojourn as the head coach of the FSC East Bengal? This is from goal.com.
Yeah, again, you know, I've been relatively happy in terms of how we performed. Again, it's at expectation levels. You know, I don't know why they were as high as what they were, because obviously you look at certainly the last you know 10, 15 years in the I-League, and you know the club, you know, as a wonder league. You know, obviously they've always tried to progress and get better. But you know, that was the case last year. I think they won 4 games last year in the I-League, you know, finishing second, which was obviously cut short. So I think we've steadily improved from last year. You know, I don't think there's any doubt about that. But yeah, it's been one of frustrations for, you know, for the large part, because obviously decisions. But in terms of how we performed, I think we've been okay. You know, okay. The league table is not lying, but we've competed. You know, and that's all we can do. That's what we set out to do at the start of the season. You know, we wanted to win every game. But if you can't do that, you know, you make sure you compete and show people what you've got. And I think we've done that.
The final 4 questions, Gaffer. This is also from goal.com. Odisha FC conceded 6 goals in the last game and are at the foot of the table. What kind of competition are you expecting in the final fixture of the season?
Well, it's the toughest game we've got, because it's the next game. Odisha will be hurt by the result of the last game, so they'll want to try and rectify that and, you know, make amends. Again, you spoke before about pride, and you know, every player will have pride, but they'll all want to go into the game and you know, and try and right what was wrong in the last game, and we know it's going to be tough. It really will be. But you know, it's about us, you know, and I'm not really too concerned, in all honesty, about, you know, Odisha's pride and, you know, Odisha's performance. You know, my job is to focus on, you know, on the pride of our team and focus on, you know, getting the job done and winning the 3 points for, you know, for my side and our side. So you know, that's what we'll be working on.
This one is from ABP. How eager are you to make your comeback in what is the last game of the season? Yeah,
it's been again, it's been a frustrating, certainly few games. Obviously not been on the touchline with the team. But look, as you know, I did say you know, a few weeks ago, it's not about me on the side anyway. You know, we do our work leading up to the game. We do our work, you know, on a training park, and you know, players have the you know, the accountability. You know, to sort of run things on that pitch. So, but yeah, it's nice to be back, and yeah, it'll be nice to be in that dressing room, given the words of wisdom, if you like, before.
What would be your message be for the players ahead of the game? This is also from ABP.
Well, the message is quite simply: go out there and give us the best you can. And it's the same every single game. You know, go out there and show people what you're all about. You go into the game with the correct attitude, the correct mentality, you know, and do all the things that we've been working on. You know, let's cut out simple mistakes, you know, at times which have cost us, you know, individual errors. But look, focus on what you can do, you know, and more importantly, don't let yourself down. You know, that there's thousands and thousands of people watching you, you know, and we know at times it can be a pressure environment. but go out there and relax and and enjoy your football.
The final question is from the Hindu. How did the ISL experience pan out for you? What would you like to tell the SC East Bengal fans about next season?
Well, quite simply, look, I think we thanked all the fans, people who have been for us, people who have been against us, because we know that a lot of them have been hurting because of results. But there's also many people behind us wanting us to do well, and we massively appreciate that. And my message to them is obviously stick with us. We are a work in progress. We've certainly progressed now to what we was, and we'll continue to do that. And look, I'm sure down the line there's going to be a few more bad results. There's going to be a few bad performances, but keep supporting us, keep believing in what we're doing. Be frustrated, because we've been frustrated for the large part as well with obviously decisions. But you know what, we'll pick ourselves up and we'll move on, and we'll do everything we can to try and get this club where we believe it should be. And obviously with the help of the fans and obviously all their positivity, heaping into us, then we can do it.
Thank you so much for your time.
Pleasure.